Hey CTR, we are back with another Diamond Select Toys sponsored review, and it's been a couple weeks since we last did MiniMates, so we're doing another MiniMates episode. This time, instead of Ninja Turtles, we have Power Rangers. So we're going to give you a look today at the recently released Wave 1, and hopefully get you excited about Wave 2 coming out next spring. Why don't we take a look at the box, because there's some little secrets going on here already that are giving away what we could expect with Wave 2. Taking a look at the box, we could see the artwork on the front has the team that we're getting in this box: Blue Ranger, Pink Ranger, Alpha 5, and the Green Ranger. And then you see half of the Red Ranger on there, and we already know that in the second wave we were getting Red Ranger in addition to a couple others. Well, I don't think they've showed off the box art for Wave 2. It's safe to assume that this is going to be a two-part art piece splitting down the middle of the Power Rangers team. So that's kind of cool that it's going to be sort of a diorama that you're putting together. You get some nice silhouettes on the side of the box showing off the figures, and of course you saw the team on the back. And there's a couple other surprises with the box itself. The first of which being there's a magnetic clasp for the door itself, so it will give it a little bit of a premium feel as opposed to being Velcro. I always appreciate seeing a magnet there. It just makes it feel a little bit more valuable. Of course, on the right you have your characters laid out with their name pills, and you can see all their accessories in the box. If you chose to display it this way, it's not a bad box. Like I said, you have that image diorama on the front, so it'll be cool on the shelf. But of course you want to take them out, so why don't we take a look at these figures outside of the package as well. So I'm going to open these. Really want to try to preserve the box. Like I said, it's a nice box, so if nothing else, you want to keep it for that diorama display on the front, where you're going to have the other team over here with the Red Ranger sort of splitting it in the middle, which was the original leader, so it kind of makes sense to have him right here. Again, there's the magnetic flap I was talking about. Nice little feel to the package, gives it more of a premium design to it. So this one's easy to open, didn't need to worry about any tearing at the top. So here we go, we get our Rangers with all their little accessories in here. Of course the dagger flute as well, and then you have the helmets and a whole assortment of weapons. So let's take a look at these guys. So I'm going to do this in a couple segments, so we could just take each character out at a time and show you off the accessories and what makes each individual character unique. Alpha 5, of course, doesn't come with any accessories. I don't remember him using a gun or anything in the series. I might be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen it. You can see a lot of great detailing on here. Of course, on the dome, on the chest, and on the back. They put a lot of detailing paint applications to really make him pop out. Of course, he has the same articulation we've seen on the Minimates, so nothing unique there to that. He could hold accessories, but like I said, doesn't really come with anything specific here. All right, so then we have the Pink Ranger, or Kimberly here, decked out in her uniform from the original series. She does come with her bow and a little arrow for her to use that, and that should fit right in her hand, nice and easy. Just the grip is set perfectly for it. So yep, that pops in, so you can make her use the bow and arrow. Now we also have an assortment of the multi-purpose tool, which could go from the generic little tool here to a dagger mode version and a blaster version. So she could also use that in her hand with a little effort, I guess. Yep, maybe not. Maybe she doesn't want to cooperate with the blaster today. But ideally, you could put the blaster in the hand and use that, and it also works in the holster here. There's a little cutout at the bottom, so you could display them with it in the holster. And then lastly, she has her helmet. To get the helmet on, you got to pop off the hair, though. Obviously, it's not going to fit over the hair. The hair is not as fluffy as it is in the show, so not going to move for you. So that just pops right off. Helmet pops right on with a little bit of effort. There we go. And then you got your Pink Ranger. Now there's a lot of great detailing on the helmet. We'll give you a close-up shot of the set later so you can see it. It still has that metallic mouth and those eyes stand out. I mean, the head in general, when looking at that had a lot of great detailing in there. The head pops off easy too, I guess. That had a lot of great detailing. You can see the mouth and the facial expression. So we'll get you a shot of both the helmet on and helmet off versions of Pink Ranger Kimberly. Next up, we'll take a look at the Blue Ranger. So coming up next, we got Billy, the Blue Ranger here. Now he comes with a couple of accessories for the different modes they come in. So one he has is Sai, or I don't know, Trident, Mini Trident, or whatever they're called. I think they're just called Sai. So you can hold these in his hands and do a dynamic pose that way. Or he could have the combined version of the two and the Trident or Sai staff here as well. So that's kind of cool that they gave you both the combined version and the single version, depending on how you want to display him. He's got a lot of great detailing in his face. You can see his glasses on there as well, including his expression. And of course, just like the Kimberly or the Pink Ranger, you could remove the hair with it's a little easier than hers, and then put the helmet on. I'm not going to go the full way because these helmets are really difficult to take off, I found with the Pink Ranger one, and it took a lot of force and trial and error to try to maneuver it off. It would have been better if they just included separate heads, because the heads will pop off with more ease than it is to take the helmet off. So yeah, it would have been better if they just had the helmeted heads and the standard heads instead of trying to get these on, because they're just not coming off easily. But you know, to each his own. How you're going to display them, it might not matter. But that's the Blue Ranger. So now we'll shift over to the Green Ranger. Of course, Tommy wouldn't be Tommy without his signature ponytail, which they captured in MiniMates form right there. He also has some nice detailing on the face. He's got that full Green Ranger suit, including the armor, although I think it was just cotton padding or whatever in the show, but it was armor. Let's see if we could take it off. I do remember one episode where he passed it on to Jason, the Red Ranger, to protect him from an attack. Yep, you can remove it, and they still have the design of his suit underneath, even with the armor off, which is neat. It has sort of a wraparound, so it looks like it's connected under the arm, but it's not. So that's nice to have that little detailing of being able to connect all the way around. So of course, like the other ones, if you want, you can remove the hair as well, and then this one's quite easy. The ears are attached to the hair, so these MiniMates have ears, although they're just painted on the hair. And then of course you could put the helmet on Tommy as well, if you wanted to give him the helmeted look. But again, I caution, if you do that, it's going to be extremely difficult to get on and off. So I'm going to leave it off for now, just to show you his accessories. So he comes with his Green Ranger sword, which you could just pop in the hand here. A lot easier than, whoop, I guess not. And there's a lot of detailing on this guy here. You have multiple paint schemes on the sword, the black, the red, the gold, and then you have the little tassel at the bottom. And they put a little detailing at the top of the sword, which is a nice touch. And of course he has the dragon dagger to call the Mega Sword, with a little keys on the side for the flouting or fluting, I'm not sure how you say that. So you could put it in his hand here. He could kind of simulate playing it, I guess. I guess more like a microphone. You're not going to be able to quite get it in front of the mouth at that angle with the MiniMate. But yeah, so he's got his iconic dragon dagger as well. So they have, I showed you these earlier when we were showing off Kimberly, the gun and the unextended and the extended version of the dagger. There's 2 sets of those, so there's not one for each character, but you kind of choose who gets to hold it. I guess you put the dragon dagger in Tommy's holster, so only really Kimberly and Billy need them anyway, so it doesn't matter. One other neat thing that's in this package is the combined weapon. I can't recall what it was called in the show when it was combined, but it's got, of course, you can see the Blue Ranger's Sai on there. It's got the Yellow Ranger's knives, the Pink Ranger's bow, Black Ranger's axe, and of course the Red Ranger's sword. So this is kind of cool that it came with the set. So you have all the weapons. The next set we're going to have the Red Ranger, the Black Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, and the White Ranger. So the rest of those weapons will be in that set. Unclear if they have one of these as well, but you don't need the whole team to get the combined weapon. So anyone could really hold this weapon. I'll put it in Tommy's hand here. Yep. So anyone could really hold this weapon. So it's kind of cool that Diamond Select gave you this assembled weapon, so just to give a little bit more dynamic to the team. So when you have that whole set, you don't need to kind of configure them onto anything. It's just already pre-made for you. So why don't we do a close-up and show you these guys with their helmeted and unhelmeted versions, and you can see all that great detail. Well, here we have our crew dressed to the nines. They got all their gear, their blasters and their holsters. I gave Alpha the team gun just because he felt lonely without an accessory. So he'll be carrying the whole team on his shoulder in this one. You can see the detail on him, really great, really captured the costumes, tight paint applications. The hair has a little bit of texture to it. It's nice. And the detailing, the faces, the ears are really cool to see those on the hair pieces so the characters don't feel just flat. Even being mini-mates, they still have a little depth that way. And of course, here they are with their helmets. These helmets are tough to get on and off. I haven't really dealt with any mini-mates with helmets before, so I'm not sure how they rank with other helmets. I've seen Transformers, I've seen the Turtles, and the Transformers had alternate heads, so you didn't really have to worry about struggling with a hairpiece or anything like that. I think maybe one of them had a dome top, but that was really it. That just kind of plugged on and off the alternate head, so you didn't really have to struggle with trying to maneuver a whole helmet over a head. Optimally, it would have been better if the heads were just, or the helmets were just separate heads that you could just swap out the current ones for. It would be a lot easier than having to fuss to try to get these on and off. But if you're a true fan of having to put helmets on and off figures and you like that look, then I guess that's fine. It's worth the extra hassle. Or if you don't plan on displaying them without their helmets on, then it's also not an issue. But it's nice to have that freedom of movement, to not have to struggle with a helmet on and off. But in this case, it's really tough. Or maybe I'm just really bad at taking these helmets on and off, but they are not easy. So that's the set. We showed you all the figures and the close-up design. Again, my biggest disappointment with this were the helmets. This is the first time I encountered helmets in the MiniMates series, and they are a massive pain to put on and take off. The big sticking point there being that the heads just don't have or have too much give to really give any force to take any of the accessories off. The hair can come off with some force, but when you try to really pull on that head, it's just going to pop off when you have the helmet on there. And you can't really remove the helmet if you don't have anything to push against it. So to me, it's kind of a design flaw, as these are just so form-fitting that they are literally just ripping the head off every time you pull them. It's good to have a form-fitting helmet, but you need some opposing force if you're trying to remove it, and the head just kind of sticks in there. And it took us a pair of precision screwdrivers to sort of angle it out in order to get the helmet off, and then a lot of maneuvering and time in order to take these off. So it would have been just as easy to include the helmeted heads with the hole in it just to connect them onto the base and swap out the head entirely. I've seen this in the Transformer set, so I know they do alternate heads. It would have just made it a lot more frustration-free. Other than that, though, it's a great set. It's going to look even better when you have Wave 2 with it and you have the whole team there. Hopefully they'll do some villains so you can mix it up a little bit and get some of the putties in there, and Rita and her monsters, and maybe Lord Zed. Maybe even some larger pieces like Megazords or whatnot, where these guys, one of them at least, could fit inside of it. Time will tell. This is a new series, just the first wave, so there's a lot of potential there going forward. So This series is out now if you want to get this wave. You can find it on a lot of fan sites or direct from Diamond Select, or have a link up here for you to get it from Entertainment Earth. And if you use code COOLTOY22, of course you get that 10% discount and free shipping with any orders over $39. You don't have to enter any additional code. That will take care of it. So if you want to pick this up, go pick it up. We'll give you a nice little special deal on it using our code. And that's it from MiniMates for this time. We'll let you know if we have any more MiniMates videos in the future. Right now, this is our last planned one. We do have other Diamond Select products we're going to be taking a look at. And of course, now that we're in October, we're going to have some Halloween themed reviews as well. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and follow. And we will see you guys next time.